Hello and welcome students and parents. We are starting chapter 7 and in today's video we are doing lesson 7.1 and 7.2. This is Mr. White. Make sure your name is always on your paper, but we're going to be learning about ratios, rates, unit rates, and complex rates. A lot of different words here, but do not worry. We've gone over a lot of this. We are just putting new terminology words to it all. So let's jump right on in. Part 1, what do we need to know about this? We need to know a ratio. So a ratio compares two quantities, and you can write it in three different ways. A colon B, A to B, A over B. So an example, 8 boys and 12 girls. Boys to girls would be 8 colon 12. And then we want to always reduce that. That's something we're going to see throughout all of this. 2 to 3, 2 over 3. So the 2 there. Got the colon, we reduce it, and then we end with the fraction form. So that's the first thing we need to know. Next thing we need to know from there, what is a rate? A rate is a ratio. So what we just did, a ratio with two different units. Circle that. We went over in class that is very important. So if they are the same units, they cannot be considered a rate. You got to memorize this, all right? So an example, 30 miles in 2 hours. We have miles and hours. Those are different. So yes, it is a rate. But when you look at 145 feet to 25 feet, no, it's not a rate. Why? Because feet and feet, those are the same unit. But if we have different units, then yes, that is a rate. And we'll come across questions like this in your homework and on assessments where it'll say put yes or no, is it a rate? So if you can remember this and memorize it, you will be good to go with rates. All right, a unit rate though. So let's talk about this. A unit rate is a rate where the second number is 1. So we're basically trying to get it as small as possible so that it's 1, so that in this example, 30 miles in 2 hours, we can divide the numbers by 2, and then we will get 15 over 1. So same as saying 15 miles an hour. And that's how we would talk about it if we were going ahead and doing this with, in real life. If we talk about that, we would say we can go 15 miles an hour. So that's a very easy way to look at it, or simple way to look at it. We don't want to always say it's easy, because for some of us, especially as we're learning this the first time, it may not be easy, but rest assured, it should not be too difficult when we go through these steps. So first steps to take, write the ratio rate, and you want to put it into a fraction form. So that is the A over B form. All right, then we want to simplify. Divide both numbers by the greatest number that fits in evenly. And then 3, find the unit rate. So that we divided both numbers by 2 to simplify it. We found it over 1. And we did that until it became 1, so 15 miles an hour. So doing this example in these steps, step 1, we write this into the fraction form. So 30 over 2. All right, we have that. Then simplify. Divide both numbers by the greatest number that fits in evenly. 2 can go into both of those, so we'll have 30 over 2. Then we divide by 2 and 2, and get 15 over 1. Divide both numbers by the second number, so it becomes 1. That's also what we did within this. So these two steps, think of them as very similar, but we want the 1 at the end. So that way we get the 15 miles per hour, or 15 mph, as you would see it everywhere else in the real world. So that's the first page. These are just things we need to know, and then we will get into some practice examples with that. So from here, though, we are talking about simplifying ratios, and this is something we also have already done. So I think that is the great part within this, is that, it's not necessarily learning something completely new, as we've done in most of this class, is we are doing things we've already done. So write each ratio in the lowest terms. So that's something we've done. We want to write in AB form and then reduce it to its lowest term. So getting started with these first ones, 12 to 18. Let's do 12 over 18 to get it in this A to B format. And then we need to reduce it. So I know 6 goes into both of these, so let's divide by 6 over 6. That would get 2 over 3. Can 2/3 get any smaller? Nope. So that is 2 over 3. 15 colon 25. And A over B format would be 15 over 25. I know 5 can go into both of these, so let's see. Let's do that and see if it can get any smaller. That would get 3, and this would be 5. 3 over 5, Nope, nothing else can get smaller from that. And then go ahead and pause the video here if you're watching this and you haven't filled this out, and then try to do the rest of these on your own. But if not, I'll go through a few more as we go. So we have 8 over 24. 8 can go into both of these. That would be 1/3. 14 to 21. Let's move it over here so we have some more room. I know 7 can go into both of those, so let's divide by 7. 2 over 3. So that looks good. 9 over 12. 3 can go into both of these as well. That would give me 3 over 4. 20 and 30. You can just write 20 over 30. And guess what? We're dividing by 10, but if there's 2 zeros, you can just cross them out like that and put 2/3. 16 over 4. We'll do that here. 4 can go into both of these. And that would be 4 over 1. And this one was a little bit tricky, I'll be honest, because 4 over 1, it's the same as saying 4. So I would take 4 as the answer just because that's everything we've gone over so much in this class. But if we're wanting to keep it into, the ratio format, it would be, 4 puppies to 1 cat. So if you just said 4, you'd say, well, where did the ratio go? So really, we should be, at least for this chapter, leaving it 4 over 1. Because that is as small as it can go. 4 over 1 in a different sense, if it's just a fraction, is the same as this. But let's for now do 4 over 1. All right, 27 over 36, a few more here. I know 9 can go into both of those, so 3 over 4. And then 10 over 15. 5 jumps out as something that can go into those, 2/3. And we'll do the last one over here. We have 42 over 56. This one, I think like 7 is definitely one that jumps out at me. That would be 6 over 8. But it can actually go smaller than that too. So that wasn't the best number to choose, but it's what I could do. So I divided by 2 again and got 3 over 4. So what you're wanting to do is get it as small as it can. And that's something we've done, but just put it in the fraction a over b form first, and then just get it small. And to recheck, you say, can I get any smaller than this? This. Nope, 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 nope. So we're good to go. All right, next one, equivalent fractions. Are they equivalent? Write yes or no. Step 1, what do? We write both ratios as fractions. So that's going to be a common thing throughout most of this chapter. Then we want to reduce both the fractions. Then we compare the simplified answers and see, are they the same? So for this first one, we'll put 2 over 3 and then 6 over 9. 2 over 3 cannot get any smaller, so let's leave that there. But how about 6 over 9? Let's divide both by 3. And yeah, that equals 2 over 3. Step 3, is 2 over 3 the same as that? Yes, equivalent, if you remember, means equal. So are they equal? Are they the same? And if they are, then let's put yes. I'll just put a Y for yes. Actually, no, it's short enough. I'll just put yes. All right, next one, 4 over 10 and 6 to 25. So both of these, well, 4 over 10 can definitely get smaller. 2 can go into both of those. So we'll do 2 over 5. And then 6 and 25, that cannot actually get any smaller. If it was 5 over 25, it could. So I'm comparing 2 over 5 to 6 over 25. Are those the same? No, they are not. All right, this one we'll do over here. 5 over 8, that doesn't look like it can get smaller, but how about 10 over 16? 2 can go into both. 5 over 8, 5 over 8, those are the same. They are equivalent. So yes, they are. This one here, 9 over 12 and 12 over 15. So I know 3 can go into both of those, so let's divide by 3. 3 over 4 is the first part, and 3 can also go into this, and that would be 4 over 5. 3 over 4 and 4 over 5, are these the same? Nope, they are not. So the last one here to do, we have 7 over 14 and 1 over 2. I know 1 over 2 cannot get smaller, and I also know 7 over 14 equals that, but I'll just show you. Divide by 7, and what do we get? 1 over 2. Does 1 over 2 equal 1 over 2? Yes, it does. So I think these are really fun, you guys. Main thing though, put it back in the AB format, and then we're using this skill that I'm not going to say we learned for the first time, but that we reviewed And we are simplifying it, and then we need to see, are they the same? Yes, no. Alrighty, from here, we're on the next page, page 3. We want to know, is it a rate or not a rate? And if you remember, go back to your first page, a rate is a ratio with different units. If they're the same, they cannot be considered a rate. So that's what we are looking for in this. So miles to hours, those are 2 different units. So yes, it is a rate. A grade of 80 compared to 95. Those are the same units, so no, they are not. $5 for 2 notebooks. Dollars and notebooks, those are 2 different units. So yes, that is a rate. 6 feet compared to 8 feet. Nope, because those are the same. 18 points to games, those are the 2 units we're looking at. So that would be yes, because they are different. So that is a little bit about that. Now let's get into part 5, unit rate. Okay, so for unit rates, we want to find the unit rate. That's what we're trying to do. Step 1, write the ratio or rate and put it into a fraction form. So same thing as we've been doing. Great, right? We have good consistency there. A over B. Step 2, divide both numbers by the greatest number that fits in evenly. Great. So we're making it smaller, simplifying it to its lowest terms. Then we want to find the unit rate, so we divide both numbers by the second number. So that's what we went over on that first page. This is the same idea here. So what do we have and what do we do? We have 36 miles in 3 hours. So let's put 36 over 3. Then divide both numbers by the greatest number that fits evenly. Another way to think of it, divide both numbers by the second number so that it becomes 1. So that number would be 3. So divide by 3 and 3. And we get 12 over 1. And then as far as when we're writing it, we would just write 12 miles an hour. Next one, 24 cookies and 6 bags. So let's put 24 over 6. And then let's divide by 6 because the 6 is at the bottom. So divide both numbers by the second number here. Second number is the one below. So that it becomes 1. So that would get us 4 over 1. So great, we have the bottom number as 1. So what does that tell us? That would be 4 cookies per bag. Next one there, 25 over 4. That's how we have it in the A over B format. Then we need to, what do? Divide by 4. And you're like, Mr. White, it doesn't go unevenly. Well, then we just need to do the long division. Yes. So the 25 is on top. It is scared. It wants to jump in and get safe inside of the house. So that's why I'm putting it like this. Then we just have to do the math. So 4 times 6 is 24. Then we put a decimal because we're going to keep it going. We have a 1. We bring down the 0. 4 can go into 10 2 times. That would be 8. 2 and 0. 4 can go into 25 times. So 6.25. And there you have it. So 25 miles in 4 hours would tell us that we really can go 6.25 miles an hour. All right, next one. 18 yards over 5 days. Same thing, it cannot go into it super easily. So what do? Same thing, set it up, 5 into 18. We know 5 can go into 18 3 times because 5 times 3 would be 15. Add the decimal because now we're going over 5 into 30. 5 times 6 is 30, so 3.6. So that would be 3.6 yards a day. All right, $19 for 6 pounds of apples. We are going to bring this one over here. So $19 over 6. Divide by the second number, 6. So it will be a 1. So 6 into 19, which you cannot even see it. So this one is going to be a bit longer of a number. So 6 times 3 is 18. And then we bring the 1 down and a 0. 6 can go into that too. Nope, 1. So 6, that will give us a 4. And then another 0 comes down. 6 times 6 is 36. And then, another 40. You can't even see it. Another 40. Let's try it one more time. 6 times 6 is 36. 4, 0. And remember, we talked about this last chapter, the one before. If we see these repeatings again and again, what we can do is this 6 is always going to be repeating for as long as we know it or would have the patience to do it. So you can either put 3.16 and then a line over just the 6. So it's not over the 1 because the 1 does not repeat, it's just the 6. Or you could round it to 3.17 because that's what it would round to if it's asking round to the nearest hundredth. But for now, we'll do 3.16 or 3.17. So either of those for now because it does not specify. 7 cups of flour for 2 batches, 7 over 2. So let's do 2 into 7. So that would be 3. Add the decimal, bring that down, and 5. And some of you might have been able to do that in your head because 3.5 plus 3.5 is 7. Just like 3 plus 3 is 6, you need one more point to get to 7. Divide that point in half, and that's the 0.5 we find there. All right, 2 more to go. 9 pizzas for 4 families, 9 over 4. Let's divide by 4 to both sides, so it becomes a 1. Can go into there 2, that will be an 8. 1, bring down the 0, make sure you add the decimal there. 4 times 2 equals 8. Bring it down, and 4 can go into 25 times, so 2.25 pizzas per family, or 2 1/4, but for now, I'm going to suggest that we are doing decimals, because that is how, like, in life you would see. Most likely you would. I don't know. It depends, but for now we can do that. But if not, 3 1/2 is the same 2 1/4. But I would like to see your work shown. So I know some of you could do this in your head, but it's much more likely that you could get it wrong. And if I don't see the work, I have no idea what you're doing. So with this one, let's do 84 over 21. Let's see, I had said 3 could go into both of these. So, because I know that would be 7. And then let's do real quick 3 into 84. 2, 6, 2, 4, 8. So 28 over 7. Divide by 7. And that would get us 4. So 4 ounces a cup. So hopefully just seeing me do it is helpful, but putting it in A to B format and then dividing by that number so that it becomes a 1. But if it is not very simple or like clean like this, then we have to do this long division. And that's where you have to remember the rules of, adding the decimal. Alrighty, last page here for this lesson, ratio tables. Jumping right in, step 1, we want to find one full column. Pick a column where both numbers are given, both the top and the bottom. Yay, 1 and 8 are both given. These do not have both numbers, but we're going to find these numbers, and that's what we're going to learn how to do. Step 2, ask what happened to the number? To go from the known number to the new number, did you multiply by something or divide by something? And this is picking up what we've also done in previous chapters of looking at it and being like, what did we get to go from this to that? How did we do that? And we can do it by multiplication or division, and then taking it apart by doing the inverse. So if we multiply by that number, we can also divide by that same number to figure out these missing things. Step 3, though, we're going to do the same thing to the other row. So whatever you do to the top, you must do to the bottom. Same math on both rows, always. So what I explained in class, and I think, it's a little tricky when we're first getting into this, but hopefully the more you see it or the more you're listening to me talk now, you'll start to put the pieces together. How I like to think of it, and a lot of math is like this. Think of yourself as an investigator, and you've got clues, and you know the steps to use those clues to find the answers, to solve whodunit. But you got to put a little bit of work into it. So first clue we have, the step, is we want to have both. Then we need to ask ourselves, investigate, how did we go from 1 to 8? Or how did we go from 8 to 1? 1 times what equals 8? Well, I know 1 times 8 equals 8. So that's one of my key numbers. It is my key number, but just as I can go top to bottom, I could also go and do the inverse. I could say that 8 divided by 8 equals 1. So you'll see that in this table here, 8 is our number. That's the number we need to unlock all of these. But if I'm going down, in this case, it's not always the case, but for this ratio itself, I figured out 1 times 8 equals 8. Great. So if I'm going down, I can multiply by 8. So 2 times 8 will get me this number. 2 times 8 is what? It is 16. Amazing. All right, from there, 5, it's the same, it's at the top. So if I'm going from this down, I do the same math as both rows. So I did 1 times 8 to get 8. 2 times 8 equals 16. So what is 5 times 8? That will equal 40. And I can check this work by saying, well, what's 40 divided by 8? Is it 5? It is. Because look, right here, I can't do what is the number? We don't know. We need to find that. But look here, when I went this way, I said 8 divided by 8, and that got the number. So let's try that. 64 divided by 8 equals what? That equals 8. So then our numbers we have are 16, 40, and 8. Amazing. Let's do these next ones. They are a little bit tricky, and that's how the book has it. It is not going to be just nice and peachy all the time. But as we're learning it, it is nice to have a little bit there. So for this one, I need to figure out 2 and 3. These are my two numbers. Great. But how do I figure out like 2 times what equals 3? I know it now after I did the math, but maybe it's not coming to you either first time around. So let's divide and see. So let's put 2 and then 3, because I want to know 2 times what equals 3. So the best way to do that would be to divide. So 2 can go into 3.